The Supreme Court denied hearing an appeal from a Catholic hospital in California. The hospital was sued after refusing to perform a hysterectomy on a woman who identifies as transgender. The court did not comment on why it will not hear the case. The hospital says that it does not discriminate against transgender individuals, but does refuse certain treatments that go against the Catholic faith. And joining me now is Ryan Anderson, president at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Ryan, welcome back. Always great to see you. Let's talk a little bit more about this case. I know that you have said that it has nothing to do with transgender rights, but disagreements about nature and purpose of medicine. Talk to us more about that.
Sure. I mean, so the activists here say that this is a transgender man. But if this is really a man, there's no uterus that would need to be removed in a hysterectomy procedure. Now, if this is really a woman with a healthy uterus, then the Catholic hospital is making a correct medical judgment that we don't remove the healthy body parts from the healthy bodies of individuals. As you described, this is a woman who wants to identify as a man. The Catholic Church correctly teaches that this is not good medicine. You don't need to be Catholic to know this, but being Catholic helps to know this. And so part of the ERDs for Catholic hospitals is that we don't perform procedures to sterilize people. We also don't perform procedures to try to do what's impossible, which is to do sex change procedures. Those aren't possible. So this is bad medicine, and that's why Catholic hospitals don't engage in it.
And Ryan, as I mentioned, the court didn't say why they wouldn't hear the case. Is that typical? And since the appeal was denied and the lower court ruling stands, what does that mean for the hospital?
Sure. So, I mean, the interesting thing about this, there's some disagreement amongst court watchers, is that the lower courts hadn't actually finalized the case yet. The trial court said, the trial need not proceed because religious liberty protections protect the church and the hospital, the church hospital, from being litigated in this way. It was then a state appeals court that said, no, the trial can proceed. And then the hospital appealed this to the U.S. Supreme Court, saying that federal protections for the free exercise of religion would prevent the state claim from taking place. What's happened here is that it's going to go back down to the state courts. Both the patient and the hospital are going to have their day in court. The state courts are going to have to adjudicate this, including what the federal claim, the federal protections for free exercise of religion means in this case. If the conclusion of that goes poorly, the hospital might then end up back at the Supreme Court. But this isn't a permanent loss for the hospital. It's a temporary setback, but they're still going to have their day in court.
Obviously, things are still in flux here, but what type of impact do you think it could ultimately have on Catholic hospitals overall in California and possibly in other states?
I mean, I think the overall impact here should be one in which more and more Catholics and more or less all citizens of goodwill speak out for the freedom to practice good medicine. That's what's at stake here. Will Catholic doctors, Catholic hospitals be able to treat patients in accordance both with the faith and in accordance with true science and good medicine? No one should be pressured by the government into doing what violates their reasonably formed conscience. And likewise, no one should be forced into practicing bad medicine. And hospitals, particularly Catholic hospitals, should not be forced by the state into violating their beliefs, both when it comes to the faith and when it comes to the nature and purpose of medicine.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much. Always great to get your analysis. We appreciate it. Ryan Anderson, president at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Thank you again.
Thank you.